Good evening and welcome to QTV. I'm Michael James.
I'm Sharon Mulheron.
And I'm Matthew Bo.
QTV is Queensland's only GLBTIQ television program and we are incredibly excited to be bringing it to you.
And tonight, joining us on the couch, we have Jaxxon Chile and Annie Mundy, who are both here to talk to us about being part of the transgender community.
We'll also be talking about some exciting local events.
But first, this week's biggest story was the Rally for Marriage Equality. It had over 1,000 attendees and the QTV crew was there to catch it all. Take a look.
I believe we are going to really make our government listen, and if they don't, they're going to be in for one hell of a fight. And coming up, we have two beautiful trans people.
I'm proud to be transgendered, and yes, I am married, but I've been married 24 years. But if I get my gender marker changed, I have to be divorced.
I just want to make everyone aware that people in the community with identities other than gay are negatively affected by this social and legal treatment.
We've got the budget came out this week with these two parties talking about wasting money, and we are still here wasting time and money debating an issue that shouldn't even be up for debate. It shouldn't be up for election. We should have equality. But I think more of our straight allies, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our friends need to be stepping up to the plate. We need to be speaking to them and we need to be telling them that they need to help us.
It's really, really great. I've been to a lot of rallies and this is one of the biggest ones I've seen. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here.
Yeah, good on you guys. Woo!
It's people like us who get off our backsides and get out there and do something that are the ones who are going to make this happen. Sitting around and complaining about what's going on isn't going to achieve anything. We all must be active. Basically, don't forget, the political is personal. It doesn't just go the other way around. What happens in politics will shape our lives and the lives of our family and friends. So we all have a responsibility to do something and make this work for us.
Julia Gillard, you would not be Prime Minister today if it was not for the fact that you had equal rights to be a female Prime Minister. Tony Abbott, if it wasn't for the sexual revolution, you couldn't go to the beach in your budgie smugglers.
Now you're with the QTV crew here live at the Marriage Equality Rally in Queen's Park. As you know, I'm Michael James.
I'm Sharon Mulheron.
And I'm Matthew Bo.
And that never gets old. Now, it's been a fantastic day here today. Are you guys enjoying it so far?
Yes, it's fantastic. It's one of the best I've been to, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's hard to count if there's many more. What about you, Sharon?
Oh, I'm totally hyped up now. Totally hyped up.
Yeah, it gets your blood like running. It's very exciting. I'm loving it. And there's so many questions flying around. There's been so much that people have been saying today. One of the things that got thrown at me before was, why is the rally important to us? And I thought that was a great thing to explore. Like, Matt, what's really important about the rally for you?
Well, the fact that we're doing something, you know, we can all write letters, we can all contact people, but in the end of the day, we have to actually get out here and do something and be visible. I mean, you don't have to be offensive to people, but you have to actually be out and visible. We're real people who want something that is real that everybody else has. It's really not asking that much. It's just simple equality, really. So,
If I've got the right to get married as a woman to a man, why don't I have the right to get married to a woman as a woman? If I can love a man and I can love a woman, then I should have equal rights. And today's rally is about equal rights.
Gillard, Abbott, ALP, we demand equality.
Now, to this week's news. On Monday, former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd announced his support for marriage equality via his website.
He said, "I have come to the conclusion that church and state can have different positions and practices on the question of same-sex marriage. I believe the secular Australian state should be able to recognise same-sex marriage. I also believe that change should be legally exempt religious institutions from any requirement to change their historic position, and that practice marriage is exclusively between a man and a woman."
In September 2012, Mr Rudd voted against Labor MP Stephen Jones's same-sex marriage bill.
Isn't it great? I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It is absolutely fantastic news. A great way to start off the week. Now, on the International Day Against Homophobia, companies that best provided support for their LGBTIQ employees were honoured at the annual Pride and Diversity Lunch.
The Employer of the Year award went into a management consulting firm called Accenture Australia. IBM Australia, Westpac and Goldman Sachs also gained acclaim for their LGBTIQ friendly workplace practices.
Pride and Diversity Program Director Dawn Huff commented that submissions this year were up by 65% and over 3,000 employees took part in the process, which shows that organisations throughout Australia are taking very seriously their work in this area and that LGBTI inclusion within Australian workplaces is on the rise.
And so it should be. We should be seeing organisations take a stand to include everybody.
That's exactly right.
Great stuff. Now, an interesting YouTube video went viral this week. In just 2 days, it got 3 million hits. It's a clip of street interviews conducted by Travis Knuckles and Chris Baker in Colorado Springs, where they ask bystanders, "When did you choose to be straight?"
Now, Knuckles leads in with a questioning whether being gay is a choice or if homosexuals are just born that way. Most answer that it's probably a little bit of both, bringing up the usual nature versus nurture theory. He then asks them, "When did you choose to be straight?"
The result is compelling. It's one of the smartest, simplest and most powerful social experiments for the movement we've seen yet, as the respondents take the point immediately and laugh at the question, admitting that they've never thought about it that way.
Make sure you check out the video on YouTube if you haven't yet. It's most definitely worth the watch. Now, that's all the news for this week. Remember, as always, if you have any stories or issues that you would like to see covered, leave us a message on our Facebook page or send us a tweet. Or you can email our producer, steve.whiteley@31.com.au. We'll be back after this short break with more QTV. Welcome back to QTV. Now, we have some very interesting guests joining us tonight. We have Jaxxon Chile and Annie Mundy. Now, Jaxxon and Annie both identify as transgendered, and over the course of the last 15 years between them, they have been transitioning from the gender they were born in to the gender to which they belong. So they've got some very interesting insight for us into this section of the community that I think can quite often be overlooked and not adequately represented. So it's great to have you here tonight. Thank you for joining us, Annie and Jaxxon.
Thank you.
Sharon and Matt, you guys wanted to kick off with some questions for us tonight?
Well, I suppose the first question is, when did you start your transition?
I started my transition in 2010, so I'm only new into it, sort of, in comparison to Annie.
Yeah.
And Annie, when did you start your transition?
Well, I started about 15 years ago, but for me it's been a perpetual transition. So I've been very slowly moving through, been in and out, but overall gradually moving towards my gender of choice.
I wanted to ask, what are some of the toughest hurdles you've faced on your journey?
Mine, I think the scariest and toughest was coming out to my family again, and also my workplace. I think that's something that, terrified me a bit as well.
Understandably.
Yeah.
And for you, Annie?
Yeah, social acceptance. So partners, your partner base goes down, you don't have choices of as many partners. It's hard to find accepting people. So you've got to learn to accept yourself. That's what I learned.
And I think from what I've heard before, some of the challenges with acceptance is people being able to identify you appropriately as well. So tell me about that. What's the appropriate way of identifying a transgender person using the proper nouns and pronouns?
Oh, very much so. By using the she's and the hims and that sort of thing, you're acknowledging the person and their gender of choice. And if you use the wrong one, it's almost insulting for a person.
Fantastic. So that's obviously using the correct gender is the one that they are transitioning into.
Yes, their gender of choice is the one they're moving into. That's right.
Okay.
Jaxxon, would you say that if somebody's not sure what gender you are transitioning to, how does someone then work out which pronoun to use?
I guess to start with, maybe look at how they're dressed. You know, like if they're long hair and wearing some female identified clothing, it's more than likely they're transitioning to be female. If they're dressed like me, more than likely transitioning to be male. If you're still not sure, ask, you know, and ask respectfully. That, yeah, I think that would be the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, when I first met Annie, because I've met Annie, I knew Annie for a while now, that's exactly the information that Annie gave to me. I just found it really easy to talk to you, and I think that's a really important thing, that people don't need to be scared.
Yeah, I think also when you're transitioning, you've got to accept that some people don't know how to be with you, and you've got to give them a little bit of leeway on that.
And is there, I suppose, a social acceptable norm for you guys in how you feel about people approaching you to ask questions? Is it offensive if people want to ask, I suppose, probing questions about the experience, or do you feel more comfortable in being able to tell them the details they want to ask about?
I'm someone who enjoys educating people, so if they're genuinely interested and they're asking intelligent, specific questions, I'm very, very happy to answer them. But there's a lot of stupid questions out there, which I hear over and over.
I can imagine. And what about for you, Jaxxon?
I'm also with Annie. I will answer just about any question, even the stupid questions, because it is educating. And I mean, not only our community, like the GLB community, is quite undereducated, but the straight community as well. But yeah, I answer all questions. I know a lot of trans people that don't, they're like, Google it, that's all you'll get from them, you know, educate yourself. But you know, if I wasn't trans, I'd probably ask some of those stupid questions too, so I can put myself in their shoes and
Sorry, I was just thinking about last week's news, and the mainstream media grabbed onto a young girl who's at school being asked to use the disabled toilets, which they've now renamed as unisex.
Right.
Do you have anything you want to say about your experience in using restrooms and things like that?
Disabled toilets were my godsend. I love I still use disabled toilets just because they're usually cleaner, nicer, and I don't know, you know. But yeah, I still sit down to pee. So you know, I don't want urine all over the seat. But I can understand how that could be offensive, being sent to a disabled toilet. But unisex toilet, if they've renamed it, I think that should be looked at as a good thing.
I wanted to ask the both of you as well, and I know this varies between people, but after you've transitioned, do you prefer to call yourself male or female, or do you stay with transgender?
Well, I male, but I'm within my community a very proud trans person.
Okay.
When it comes to the outside world, like work, say for example, because I've got a new job here and there, working bits and pieces, I don't say, hey everyone, I'm a flaming transsexual, you know, like, so yeah, but within, I'm very proud, and you know, my work people might see me on TV and then I will be a flaming transsexual.
That's great. And one of the things that I've spoken with other transgendered friends of mine before has been about straight allies and GLBTI allies in general standing up and being trans allies, because there are some people that aren't out as trans once they've transitioned. And I suppose how do you feel about that being so important?
Well, for them it might be important, but when you say the allies, could you explain that a little bit more?
So I mean, other people who aren't trans stepping up and advocating for trans issues in the place of people who have transitioned to that gender and now don't want to be able to step up and advocate because they want to remain, you know, I suppose, not stealth. Out and in stealth.
Yeah.
Or newly gendered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think once a person has gone through their transition, and if they've moved right into their role, they become part of the general community. But there's a lot of people that are trans and they don't want to be seen as being out there. So having allies stand up for them, I think, is really good.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to move into our last segment for the night, which is our QTV Quick Six. Are you guys ready for...
Oh, I've been working up for this all night.
Yeah?
Okay, bring it.
Excellent. All right. Fire away with my two first. Your greatest childhood fear?
Oh, dogs.
Dogs?
Snakes.
Very nice. Pink or Lady Gaga?
Pink.
Yeah, I guess pink.
Easy ones from me.
You'll go.
Who is your style icon?
I don't have a style icon.
Awesome, you yourself. What about you?
Yeah, I'm just me.
The same?
Yeah,
Okay.
bang.
And what is the best advice you were ever given?
Oh, God.
Be authentic, be yourself.
Yeah, I'm copying. Sorry, yeah, probably just be who you are.
It's good advice, sorry.
What's your favourite breakfast?
That's inappropriate.
Fine, I won't go any further then. Annie, what's your favourite breakfast?
Favourite breakfast? Oh, I enjoy bacon and eggs.
Yeah, so do I. And if you were to pick your favourite animal, what animal would you pick?
To be?
Yeah,
or
well...
just what is my favourite animal?
What's your favourite animal?
Bats. I love bats.
Oh, wow, amazing. I love bats too.
Oh, yay.
Wow, there you go.
That means something.
Well, you guys have provided a great amount of insight for us and hopefully for everybody else at home. Now, if you guys got Twitter at all?
I've got an account under my old name.
Oh. Well, you can tweet us any further questions that you might have for Jaxxon and Annie. We'll be happy to pass them along. But Jaxxon and Annie are going to stay along for our final segment, I hope.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we'll be back right after this very short break. Welcome back to QTV for our final segment. Now, there are a lot of events that we'd like to remind all of our viewers to check out this week. Sharon.
Well, on Sunday, we've got the next event for Rainbow OK, and the last one was pretty popular with 100 people going, so pop along to that one for some chit-chat and get-together at the New Farm Neighbourhood Centre.
Also happening this Sunday is the government-recognised gay wedding of Kristen Walker and Chad St James. Everyone is cordially invited to celebrate from 2 p.m. at Redcliffe Place, top of the Queen Street Mall.
And he's told me to tell everyone to wear bright colours.
That's going to be a very interesting wedding. Now, starting the 30th of May for 3 weeks, the Proud to Be Out coming out workshops are taking place for anyone who is questioning their sexuality and or gender identity, and anyone who is new to the LGBT identity and community. It's on the 30th of May, the 6th of June, and the 13th of June, 3 Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now, you have both got some interesting events to tell us about, Jaxxon and Annie. What's going on, Jaxxon?
I'll start then. So we have T-Bar, which is a 3-monthly club. It's coming up on the 8th of June. We'll have lots of things going on that night. We're looking at getting a drag king from Sydney, who's just moved here. I'm yet to confirm that. So just stay tuned. We also
Sporties,
have,
is it?
it's at Sporties downstairs, starts at 8 o'clock. I should have.
Just rock up and have a good time,
just
right?
rock up.
And I've heard that it's been nominated for a Queen's Ball Award.
It is up for nominations for Queen's Ball Award. So vote, people, vote.
Now, you're in another group as well?
I also I run a group called QTs for T-Boys. It's for people at all stages, all boys, all stages of transition. We just had our last barbecue just gone. We had 20 or so people. We also invited our sister group, Trans Partners and Friends, so they came along, and we meet on the 3rd. Well, at this point in time, the next one will be on the 24th, but if you find the Facebook group, that's the best way.
Yeah, cool.
And Annie, did you have an event to tell us about?
I've got a couple, yes. The most exciting one for me is called Trans Talking Outside the Box, which you'd find on Facebook. It's a facilitated discussion group. It's a way for trans people to come together and share their wisdoms, gain insights, discuss things like identity, relationships, mental well-being and things like that.
Excellent.
Another group I do is around the Brisbane T-Girls website and Facebook group. Sporadic events that come up, but a few regular ones. One is a number of us meet at the Sportsman's Hotel on the first Saturday night of every month. I also do a private thing at my place on the second Tuesday for those that are not ready to come out to public yet.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Now, Sharon, what else is happening?
Well, also on the first Saturday of the month, the 1st of June, is the Studio DJ Party. So, girls, that one's for you. If you want a night out with the ladies, come along to the Lord Stanley Hotel. The doors open at 7:30 p.m. till 8, and there is a menu there too if you'd like to eat beforehand.
Also, just a reminder that Brisbane Pride Festival's 2013 Queen's Birthday Ball Awards will be held on June 9th, which is a Sunday, and nominations are finalised, so now you can start voting online. Tickets are also on sale now, so don't miss out. I do believe you've been nominated for a number of awards?
I have.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say all of them. It's one of them. Yeah, volunteer and activist and T-Bar and QTs for T-Boys.
Well done.
Woof.
Very good.
Me and Michael will run you up for your money on those couple of awards.
Yes, myself and Sharon are also up for some nominations there, so make sure you get on the website and vote. Now, our last event for the night is Queer in Redlands. They have a Sunday breakfast event coming up on the 26th. It starts at 8:30 a.m. at Brown Sugar Cafe in Victoria Point. It's an open event and children are welcome. Now, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. Taking us out for the evening, I got to catch up with Anthony Callea very recently, so we're going to catch up with my interview with him there. We will see you all next week. Thank you very much for joining us, Jaxxon and Annie. I'm Michael James.
I'm Sharon Mulheron.
And I'm Matthew Bo. See you next week.
I've got a very special interview guest this week. He is fresh in town on the promotional tour for his new album 30. As well as many, many other things that he's got in the works. We have the fabulous Anthony Callea.
Thanks, it's good to be in Brizzy.
Now, you are here to promote the new album 30. Interesting title there. Tell me about it. What's in the number? What's in the title?
It's not really that interesting, it's my age. I turned 30 in December.
Yep.
And I wanted to put this album together because basically I wanted to celebrate the last 30 years, not just with a big birthday bash, but musically as well. And so, you know, I wasn't signed at the time, and I walked into ABC Music and I said, this is my concept, this is what I want to call it, these are my tracks that I want to record on this album. I want the producer that I've known for 9 years to produce this album. I want Susie O'Hearn to sing a duet on it, and basically an album that really means something to me. It was like a birthday present to myself.
And a particular standout to me was the centre track, I suppose. Is it your first single officially?
Well, I'm not calling it a single. I suppose it's the lead track off the album. It's not a single project. Yeah, My All is that the one you're talking about?
That is indeed.
It's one song that I wrote about 3.5, 4 years ago. So it's been sitting in my originals iTunes folder for about that long, and I don't know, I've just been waiting for the right time to release it. I loved writing that song. I wrote it over a bottle of champagne on a cheese platter, so I wish every writing session was like that.
It's beautiful, and the film clip is beautiful as well.
Thanks.
And I suppose you found recently, I've read, it's been interesting for you to be pigeonholed as a gay artist sometimes, and when you look at that film clip, it doesn't stand out as a gay love song. It's a love song, and you've really captured that really, really well.
Well, hopefully we have, and yeah, it was beautiful to film that video clip. I loved it, and you know, the other couple in it, like the older couple, for instance, they've been together for 50 years. I really wanted to make sure that it came across real and honest, and you can't really get any more real than a couple being together for 50 years. And it's a beautiful thing if you're in a lucky position to be able to have someone in your life that you can share your life with. You know, you shouldn't take that for granted, because there's so many people that don't get to experience that, and I really wanted to capture that in the clip.
And you certainly did. It was a beautiful, beautiful clip. And if you're going to watch the clip, which hopefully we're going to be playing on the show for you, you'll catch a very special cameo at the end.
You may have to wait till the end, though.
Yes, yes. Beautiful moment, so watch it from start to finish. We'll have to remind everybody that they're going to be able to catch you at Broncos Leagues Club on the 9th of August. They're going to be able to catch you at Twin Towns on the Gold Coast on the 10th of August. After that, you're going to start rehearsing and you're going to be in Greece.
Yeah, I'm not leaving Brisbane, sorry. You're stuck with me for a couple months.
So your fans can come and stalk you, find your hotel room in Brisbane.
Don't do that.
You know, Hopefully you'll get to see you out of town, bring you down Fluffy
Oh
for
yeah,
the nights.
I'll have to go and do my grocery shopping, so you know. Any hotspots in Brisbane, let me know.
Facebook and Twitter fans, you can tweet us at QTV Brisbane. You can also tweet Anthony, which is just at Anthony Callea. No other bits and bobs with it.
No one's unfortunate to have the same name.
You can tell him where to go, what he can do when he is here, and make sure you can catch him in Greece when it starts in town. And don't forget to go to iTunes and download 30 by Anthony Callea.
Or you can even go in store and buy it. It comes with a booklet.
Do people do that anymore?
Oh my god, yes, I know. These young kids of today don't even know what a physical CD looks like.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Enjoy your day, and thank you for joining us at QTV.
Absolute peak of human perfection.